Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Montclair. My name is Marcus Greyhawk. My pronouns are he, him, and his. I serve as the Director of Music Ministries for our congregation. If you're watching this service live on Facebook or YouTube, we invite you to share your name and your location in the chat section. The hymn we're going to sing at the beginning of each service this month is We Would Be One. Set to a tune by the Finnish composer Jean Sibelius. The text was written by the Unitarian minister Samuel Wright for the Continental Congress of Unitarian and Universalist Youth in 1953-54. And it was at that convention that they merged to form the Liberal Religious Youth of the United States and Canada. And that merger became the model for the Unitarian and Universalist faiths to combine into what is now the Unitarian Universalist Association in 1961. It was not the first time that the youth led the way, and certainly not the last. The hymns today will be led by one of the teenagers from our congregation, Julia Crafton.
Whoever you are, wherever you come from, whatever age, identity, ability, history, gender, or sexual orientation, you are welcome to bring your full self here. I'm Reverend Anya Samler-Michael, she, her, hers.
I'm Reverend Scott Samler-Michael, he, him, his. Grounded in faith, we come together to nurture the soul, inspire hope, and bring into being a more just and loving world.
Today's service, titled, What a Piece of Work We Are, which is an invitation to humor and humility, two essential elements in any beloved community. You may have caught in that opening hymn a lot of praise for humanity. What a piece of work are we? This service invites a softening of that enthusiasm, raising instead a call to the beloved community where we recognize our limitations and call one another into accountable love.
If you have school-age children, please register for our innovative children's religious education program. And please take a moment this week to visit our new website. With deep gratitude for Loris Greyhawk, who worked tirelessly to build our site, and all the volunteers and staff who edited and guided the development, it is time for our congregation to have a new virtual front door.
And if you're joining us at 10 a.m., please continue with us for a virtual connection cafe beginning at 11 a.m. Check your email or your Realm announcements for the Zoom link. Now, it's time to light our chalice, a beacon to guide us through these times. Perhaps you have a chalice or candle at home, anything that you can illumine.
Let us light our collective chalices as we share together our chalice lighting affirmation.
Let us open our senses to take in the beauty. Let us open our minds to learn what is true. And let us open our hearts to love one another.
This is our time for all ages, and it's called You Have Something on Your Face. And we could use your help today to be human mirrors. Reverend Scott's going to help. Whenever one of us has something on our face, Reverend Scott's going to say,
You have something on your face.
And he hopes you will join him by saying it too. Now, imagine that we're all in class or a meeting together.
Reverend Anya, you have something on your face.
Nope. I don't have anything on my face.
Intern Ali, you have something on your face.
What are you talking about? You're wrong. I'm not going to listen to you.
Marcus, there's something on your face.
Oh, you know, it's funny you should say that, Reverend Scott, because actually you're the one who has something on your face.
Mm-hmm.
Reverend Anya, there's something different on your face.
You must be joking. I am an expert face washer. I have studied face washing for years.
Intern Ali, you have something new on your face.
How dare you tell me I have something on my face? You don't get to play with me anymore. I'm going to leave the game now.
Marcus, you have something really strange on your face.
I do? Oh no, what's wrong with me? I'm just gonna go back to bed.
You all have something on your faces.
I have something on my face? Well, thanks for telling me.
Yes, thank you. I've been washing it away bit by bit, but I guess some of it's stickier than I thought.
Yeah, Reverend Scott, I really appreciate that you're letting us know. Would you be willing to help us wash our faces?
Yeah, in fact, we should all help wash each other's faces. In fact, I got my face cleaning cloth right here.
Okay.
It's hard to get it off. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yay!
When you think about being in community together and what it means to be a Unitarian Universalist, which response did you think was the best one? I think perhaps it was the last one that we all shared together.
Yeah, and there are times when we do need to hear things that cause us discomfort or that we don't really want to hear. But when we do hear it and respond to it constructively and with humility and curiosity, then we can do a better job of building the beloved community.
So true, Marcus. And this is especially true when it comes to feedback about how cultural privilege, race, gender identity, disability, sexual orientation, class, how those aspects of cultural privilege affect and impact others.
So thank you all. Thank you for being here with us and helping us wash our faces. We promise to do the same for you. Happy Time for All Ages.
There's something on your face.
Thank you. Called now by this time for all ages into worship, with humility and joy, we turn to seek a soft meditation, a deep reflection, and ardent prayer, each as we are called, yet mystically all together. And we enter into this space by hearing the lamentations, the request, and the remembrances of our community. Let us hear one another to heal one another.
We light this first candle for Chelsea, Anthony, and their children who are leaving soon to be with Chelsea's father in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Chelsea's father has pancreatic cancer and just a few months to live. Hold the Showalter family and Chelsea's parents in your thoughts as they complete this journey together. We light this candle for Debbie Ann Tripoldi in remembrance of Richard A. Carroll Dicken, a former co-worker at the Nutley Sun and a longtime friend. Richard died on January 30th after battling bile duct and liver cancer. We light this candle of gratitude for Diane Speck, who reached out to members of our congregation to help them through the intricate and difficult process of signing up for COVID vaccinations. This good work was a ministry of love that enticed other members to do the same for those in their circles of care. This candle recognizes the gratitude the many volunteers whose incredible work and resilience through this time of challenge has sustained our congregational home. Thank you for your tenacity. Thank you for your presence. Thank you for your love. And we light this silent candle for the joys and sorrows that have not been spoken aloud. In the silence that follows, you're encouraged to speak the names of those you are holding in your prayers or meditations, or to write those names into the chat. May we hold this silence as this silence holds us. May our listening bring forth acts of love.
Our prayer comes to us from the writings of the Reverend Maureen Killeran. She calls this prayer a Celtic lorica. Spirit of all blessing, be with us in the ordinariness of our days. May hope's light guard us and keep cynicism from our hearts. May the energy of laughter build endurance for the dark times of our lives. May creativity's vision grant the possibility of seeing old relationships with new eyes. And may the oil of healing keep us from anger's hardness or despair. May the mantle of humility give courage to admit when we are wrong. And may compassion's loom weave in us the discipline to forgive. May patience help us bear in mind that ours is not the only scale of time. May the flame of justice be a beacon for the choices we must make. May peace be ever in us and sustain our stressful days. Spirit of all blessing, be with us in the ordinariness of our days.
Do 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 da 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 do 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 do. Whoa, somebody's hurting my sibling, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's hurting my sibling, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Whoa, somebody's poisoned the water, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's poisoned the water, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore. Whoa, somebody's threatening my neighbor, and it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Yes, it's gone on far too long. Somebody's threatening my neighbor, and it's gone on far too long. And we won't be silent anymore.
No, we won't be silent anymore. When you give to our offering, 80% of your gift will care for the Unitarian Universalist congregation at Montclair, and 20% will support our justice recipient. Our February Sharing Our Riches recipient is UU Faith Action New Jersey. Faith Action is a social advocacy network representing the Unitarian Universalist congregations of New Jersey and has been supported and often led by our congregation's members. Working for 11 years with coalition partners, Faith Action acts as a moral voice in the public square, supporting environmental justice, immigration rights, reproductive freedom, criminal justice reform, and gun violence prevention, while recognizing that all issues must be viewed through an anti-racist, anti-oppressive lens. You can text to give, mail us a check, or go to our homepage and click to the donate button. This is a time of need. All of your gifts are worthy, and they are all received with love. Our reading comes from the text, Held, Showing Up for Each Other's Mental Health, by Reverend Barbara Myers. The following story is from the Reverend Mark Morrison Reed. In it, Reed conveys an example of beloved community in his congregation. Nate was maybe in his 30s. He would sit in the front row rubbing his legs and rocking back and forth during the worship service. He was a bit awkward, his voice loud, and from time to time he would disappear. One weekday, I was at a party with the senior members of the congregation. There was mostly light conversation until the hostess said, "I don't know how you put up with that young man fidgeting throughout the service. It's just terrible." What happened next left me stunned. One octogenarian said, "You do know it's his medication that makes him do that." A retired public health nurse told us that she had spoken to him and knew what was bothering him. A former university president said, "I was once institutionalized." And someone else said, "My son has bouts like that." With that, my amazement turned to pride. I know why Nate kept coming to church. It was not about sermons, whether scholarly or entertaining. It was not about universalism, our professed belief in a loving God. It was our lived theology, God made manifest in the love that surrounded the young man. What follows is our anthem, Ezai Barnwell's "We Are," performed by Ezai Barnwell and the Unitarian Universalist Virtual General Assembly Choir.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. Oh, for each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. Oh, for each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings, and we are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage, fathers of time, daughters of dust, and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy, brothers of love, lovers of life, and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth, keepers of faith, makers of peace, and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings, and we are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage, fathers of time, daughters of dust, and the sons of great visions. We're sisters of mercy, brothers of love, lovers of life, and the builders of nations. We're seekers of truth and keepers of faith. We are makers of peace and the wisdom of ages. We are our grandmother's prayers. We are our grandfather's dreamings, and we are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings. We are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. For each child that's born, a morning star rises and sings to the universe who we are. We are one. We are our grandmother's prayers, and we are our grandfather's dreamings, and we are the breath of our ancestors. We are the Spirit of God. We are mothers of courage.
For each child that's born, a morning star rises. Child. That's a name I use for myself when I need remembering. When I need to remember the original blessing of my life, deeper and more resilient than any of its attendant complexities. Child. Child. I will say, child of God. It could be child of love or child of the universe. It's a name I give to myself as if I were my own great-great-great-grandmother, looking down from a high perch with the wisdom of ages, speaking a universal truth to my limited human power. Child, rest. Child, reflect. Child, still yourself. No one called me this name in my family. It's how I imagine a God would speak to me. It's a name that brings me to my knees, humble, remembering that I was birthed here into this mess and into this beauty. And oh, what a piece of work it is. But it's also ours, this world, and we are it and part of it, part and parcel. The original people, the Aboriginal people of Australia, I've read, had a name for the colonialists. They would call them line people. Line people, because we of the Western way tend to live our lives in a headlong forward march, as if life were a straight line. Go, go, go. A headlong race towards the next goal in search of progress. They called us line people, we who didn't have the same sense that they did of being part of a great circle of life. I call myself child when I need to remember that great circle, and I need to do this often because I am an unabashed, undeniable, unrelenting at times, uncompromising, unapologetic line person. Give me a goal, I will race. Give me a project, I will finish. Give me an issue and I will fight. Give me a meal and I will clean my plate. Tell me I have something on my face and I will struggle with it. I'll struggle because I'm not there yet. Not to that elusive finish line, not done, not complete, and certainly not perfect. And line people have had hell to pay of late as we have stalled or lost ground on building the beloved community, stalled or lost ground on environmental protection, on LGBTQIA rights, on just about everything that I care about, stalled or lost ground. Not only are the challenges more numerous than ever, it feels like we have gone backwards by fathoms, that we are farther away from that elusive progress that I love so much, farther than ever. What a piece of work are we indeed, a bunch of backsliders. Child, says the great-great-grandmother, that is speaking both from an exalted height and from somewhere deep within. Child, you are a part of this. And it is a part of you. It's time that you see the circle of life, not only the line of supposed progress. That story that Dion read, the one from a beloved colleague, Reverend Mark Morrison Reed, speaks of the circle. Morrison Reed, a Black Unitarian Universalist who has done more work than anyone in our faith movement on our white supremacist failings. Morrison Reed, who uplifted Black pioneers too long forgotten. Morrison Reed, whose own path in the ministry is a testament to his incredible fortitude. This Morrison Reed unearthed a beloved community right there, right in the middle of his imperfect congregation in an ordinary moment of time. As his story shares, Members of his congregation had come together and they were conversing about that troubled man named Nate, who sat in the front pew moving his legs and rocking back and forth. Nate entered their conversation, first as an anathema. When the host asked Reverend Morrison Reed, "I don't know how you put up with him." But Morrison Reed didn't need to answer because the community rose up for Nate, speaking of Nate's challenges, his pain, and then of their own understanding. "I was once institutionalized," said one. "My son has similar troubles," said another. They pulled Nate out of the center of their judgment, and into the heart of their circle, not by saying, "We need to accept him." That wasn't it at all. They pulled him into the heart of their circle by saying, "I understand him. I am him. He is us. We are Nate." Child, don't you know that you are part and parcel of this, all of this mess and beauty? Beloved community isn't over there, right across that line. It is right here when our shared struggles remind us that the circle of life holds us all, as Jesus is remembered as saying, "The kingdom is here. The kingdom is upon us." And as the Gospel of Matthew shares, why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own? Inviting us to build the beloved community by stepping out of judgment and into recognition. And Father Gregory Boyle, a Roman Catholic, asks us to focus on kinship. He says that we need to achieve a certain kind of compassion, a kind that stands in awe of what the poor, the challenged have to carry, in awe of what they have to carry rather than in judgment of how they carry it. We need to stand in awe, he says, not in judgment, just like the members of Morrison Reed's congregation had done with Nate. Boyle continues, "For the measure of our compassion lies not in our service to those on the margins, but in our willingness to see ourselves in kinship with them." In kinship, that's a powerful word, right? Not us and them, just us. The question for me, the question for this line person is, can I fight to change the world, to fix what ails it, even as I recognize myself within it? A part of it broken just like it is broken? "Hey, child," says my great-great-great-grandmother, "Hey, child, there's something on your face." Yes, thank you. I've been washing it away, bit by bit. But I guess some of it is stickier than I thought. There is work to be done, righting wrongs. But I am a fool if I think there isn't work to be done right here with my own self. I've washed away a lot of my own ignorance over the years, and I have washed more away in community than I have in any other container, certainly much, much more than I have pondering my own failings in isolation, like that works. There's a conversation I recall, one I had early in my training for the ministry. I was at an anti-racism training in a small group, and we were talking about systemic racism. And it was the first time I had heard of that concept of white privilege. I wanted to talk about everything else. Sexism, classism, bullying. I didn't want to hear about the privilege ingrained in my very visage, stuck on my face. I grew tedious, incredibly tedious, and the strings of relationship between the other small group participants and I grew tenuous. I felt myself on the edge, unacceptable, and retreating. Then, a few weeks after that gathering, I received a note from one group participant calling me back into the circle, not with false praise or weak acceptance, but by holding me accountable for my willful ignorance, holding me accountable in community, holding me accountable for my failings in love. You have work to do, child, and we are here to do it with you, is what I read in that note. And I can feel that note as I share this today. It is still with me deeply. The writer of that note trusted me with the truth of my willful ignorance and wrong. And here's the kicker. The writer of that note trusted me with the potential of my growth. By calling me to account, they called me back into the circle of beloved community, saying, you are one of us, flawed, and capable of transformation. Beloved community isn't where we are perfect. It's where we consistently and compassionately wipe the mess off one another's faces, just like we wipe it off our own. It's interesting for me. It's interesting to look back to that time early in my seminary journey. Because now I have come to a place in my life and ministry where many trust me for my justice leadership, especially regarding our work to dismantle white supremacy. I am called by colleagues in our Unitarian Universalist Ministers Association to mediate situations of conflict with a specifically anti-oppressive lens. I've been contracted as a mentor to a new minister who wants to learn how to be a white ally and a white accomplice. I am elected by diverse leaders to advocate on public stages for abolition and reform. But I wouldn't have gotten here without that note. I wouldn't have gotten here without airing my original willful ignorance in community. And then I wouldn't have gotten here without that kindred who saw that I was struggling, who saw that I was wrong, but trusted that I could grow. That is beloved community, holding one another accountable and being willing to be held accountable. That is beloved community, seeing ourselves in the very people that most trouble our sensibilities. That is beloved community. And perhaps accountability is the kindest embrace. Not judgment, but accountability. Perhaps accountability is the kindest, the most beloved embrace. May it be so. May we hold one another to account, and may we be accountable in beloved community. Now, please reflect with me. What is difficult for you about being held accountable? What is difficult for you about holding others accountable? And how might you lean into these challenges? Let's rise now in body or spirit and sing together our jazz Alleluia.
This is beloved community, holding one another accountable and being willing to be held accountable ourselves.
This is beloved community, seeing ourselves in the very people that most trouble our sensibilities.
This is beloved community, in moments, in the great circle of life, and perhaps
we will grow to know accountability as the kindest embrace.
Our worship has ended. Let our service begin. Go in peace. Go in joy. Go in love.
Join us right after this for Connection Cafe.
And check out our new website with the same URL, the same website address.
And
you have something on your face, and so do we.
Until we meet again.
Virtually or otherwise, you are in our hearts.
share.